Hey guys, over here, and I hope you guys are doing great. So today's video will be on how we can build Streamlit app using the Streamlit components built by the Streamlit community itself. So for that, first and foremost, we have to go to this page called the community. Once you are inside here, we can search for this keyword Streamlit component trackers. And when we search, the first page which comes up is the Streamlit components community tracker. It is very well maintained, and it has number of components which is built by the community itself, and among them I will choose few of them and I will try to highlight in this particular video, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. In order to demonstrate the Streamlit AgGrid table feature, I have already prepared this very small app called Streamlit. The main purpose of this app is to search for scientific publication based on keywords. I will search with the keyword chlorophyll F, and I get around 62 hits. Among them I will only load 20 of them. So here we obtain a data of 20 publication, and this table also has number of columns. The entire table was plotted using the streamlit.write function. Instead we can use streamlit.dataframe or streamlit.table. One of the drawback of this table is it's not user friendly, and this is where the power of Streamlit AgGrid table comes up. When I click this box, I plot the Streamlit AgGrid table. Here we see an extra column which is signifying the checkbox. So basically I can select one row or I can multi-select number of rows. And the function which is implemented on selection is I will see the details of the entire row. Apart from that, I can filter through each and every columns. So basically whenever I click this filter button and I go on to published on column, or rather I can go to title column, or I can actually filter via author columns. So let me filter via published on column. So here if I only select the year 2020, I get one of the publication. Filter by number of other parameters or number of other columns. Apart from this feature, another handy feature of Streamlit AgGrid table is I can just press right click and I export the entire table into a CSV format or into Excel format. Now let's figure out how this Streamlit AgGrid table was implemented in the code. For that, we need to first install Streamlit AgGrid using the pip function in our terminal, and then we need to import from the Streamlit AgGrid package. So we imported the AgGrid and the grid update module, and we also imported grid option builder module. And then I wrote a function. So this function take the data frame as an input. So here we write grid option builder dot from data frame, and we put this argument data frame. We also configure its a pagination. So out here we see our 20 rows of publication is separated into two pages. One of the page has 10 of the first 10 publication, and the next page has the rest of the publications. We also have the multiple checkbox option. That checkbox option was enabled or we kept as true. Apart from that, we have the width parameter. We can also put a theme to our Streamlit AgGrid table. And the last function, one of the most important aspect, is the selection change. So whenever a user is making a selection, we can get a response out of it. So I take the selected row as the response out from the user input. I then use this in the app. So as you can see, Streamlit AgGrid table is much more superior in a way which is much more user friendly compared to our default Streamlit table or Streamlit data frame. It has the pagination, it has the filter column, and also it can select and enable multiple checkbox option. So now we will explore a very cute component which is made by Akangsh Kumar called Streamlit Card. It's like a very small card where we can see our progress bar. So if you have any data, you can just show your progress bar there with the percentage of data loaded or number of data out there. In that way, it's very useful for our users to have a nice idea of your data sets. So it's very easy to install. Also, you just use the pip command and you just install pip install or pip3 install Streamlit Card. And then you can use from the package from Streamlit Card, you import the module and you use it this way. So I will try to implement this in our present app and let's see how it works. So we use it this way, Streamlit Card, and let's see the options which we have for it. So we have a title option. So let me pull the title. So this is mainly for the publications loaded. So we write it this way. And next, the unit can be in percentage. So we'll try to show the percentage of our selected publications. And then we have to put a value. So for the value, what we can do is we take the length of the selection, we divide by the total length of our data frame, and then we multiply by 100. So as a result, we get in a publications. So I think that's enough for time being, and we can just see how it looks like. Make few selection, and then we see the percentage of loaded is 10% is selected. So out here is around 20 of it. So we just select 2 of it. It shows around 10% is loaded. I'll just make another selection. It looks around 15% is selected. Let me show you the progress bar out there also. So for that, we'll just add one more argument there, progress, and we just say true. We check the boolean true and we save it. And now if I go back to the app, and we will see how it looks like. So now if you see in the app, it shows the progress bar out here. So let me check few more. We make few more selections out here. Now the more selections we make, we see the progress bar, which is in real time, it's changing. We can have, we have now 50%, and now we have more than 50%, it changed to blue. So that's a very cool feature, which you can implement in your app, and it's very easy to use, and it's a very cute component which we can add in our web application, and which gives a very nice visualization. So let me show you another very cool component, which is the Lottie, Streamlit Lottie animation component, which is built by one of the Streamlit creators, Fanilo, and he made this component. It's very easy to install. You just need to use pip function, pip install Streamlit Lottie, that's all. And once you have that, and also you need a Lottie URL. For that, all you can do is you go to this free Lottie animation, you need to Google search it, you make your own account, and then you go to discover and you go for free animation. And then let's choose any of them. So we choose this ghost, spooky ghost one. All we need to do is from here we copy this Lottie animation URL. So it's in .json. So we copied it. So before we paste that URL, let me show you, we need one more extra module, which is the request module. And we need this just to accept your URL, and then it's sending a request using this request.get from this request package. And if there is a status which is not 200, that means nothing needs to be returned. And if it's fine, then we return .json. That's all. So we will implement this. So first of all, whatever I copied, the URL, we will paste it. So why we will use this in our app? So we will use it when there is no keyword. So basically a user doesn't have any keyword. There we will put this animation, just to remind the user that there must be some keyword, otherwise it will be a ghost. So you have to use a keyword in order to search for publication. So here I will add the URL which I copied just now from the Lottie web page. So we have this, and now what we can do is we just check for the response. So load Lottie URL, and we put this URL out here. So basically this is a res.json, that's all. So with this we'll have the JSON object, and once we have it, we need to use our Streamlit Lottie function. So for that, what we will do is we need to import on the module. So it's like this, from Streamlit Lottie we'll import Streamlit_Lottie, and we will just use that function out here. So we write it this way, Streamlit Lottie, and we give the input as res_JSON. So let's see how it works. So if we go back to the app, this is what we see now. Let me see it. So if let's say I just delete this chlorophyll F, and oh look, so we have the ghost. So whenever there is no keyword, this ghost will turn up. So let's say again I have this some keyword chlorophyll, and I just search, the ghost is out. So it's very easy and a very nice way we can have some nice animation out there. So I hope you guys will like this Streamlit component which is made by the community, and try to implement it in your app. So normally for plotting we use matplotlib or plotly or vegalite. So we can use number of modules, Python modules, to plot in our Streamlit app. But there is another Streamlit components which is again built by the Streamlit community, and it's called the Plost. So if you see this GitHub link here, you can see how we can install Plost. So it's just easy to use, pip install Plost. The first thing is we need to import Plost module. So I have already installed it. So we import Plost. We are trying to show the top journals. So let's do it in this way, top journals. And here are the few lines from where we get the top journals. And then we will try to make our Plost plot. So we'll make a pie chart. So we write. So let's first make a container here. So with container, we can put the Plost inside that container. I think this will be enough to just make a quick plot. So let's do that. And we save it. So we already have our Plost pie chart out here. So we can set the journals with maximum publications in our loading data frame. So that's how we use Plost out here. And if you go to this Plost app demonstration, I think there we have a lot of other way how we can use Plost. So please check onto that, and it's really amazing to use Plost, Streamlit app. So there is another very interesting component which will be useful in order to embed your code either from your code pen or also from GitHub Gist or your GitLab snippets. So in this type of case, you can just embed your code inside your Streamlit app. You can also use Streamlit.code, but this is a nice alternative for that. And how you can do that? All you do is pip install Streamlit embed code. That's all. Once you are done with that, you can just need to paste your URL out there. I will actually paste the URL which I used to import this module, which is basically from Streamlit embed code, import github.gist. That's all. So once you have done that, all you have to do is github gist, and you just give the argument as git link. That's all. So in the app, I have this code which I used in order to build this demo application called Streamlit, and you can find the entire code out here. So I hope you like this component where you can actually embed your code from anywhere. So apart from the demo app which I showed you, I will also try to mention two other components which I often use. One of them is this Streamlit 3D-Mol. So Streamlit 3D-Mol helps you to visualize your protein structure, which we can obtain from the protein data bank, how it works and how we can implement. If in case you have seen my previous video where I try to automate Streamlit with Google Sheets, out there you will find I made a database of all the chemical IDs. Here you can make a database of your protein PDB structure, so you can obtain anyways a PDB structure from this particular website. And you can always download it, or you can actually access via the PDB ID. So let's install the st-mol. So we install pip install st-mol, and all we need to do is we need to use this few lines of code, and it has its automated user interface. So I pasted the entire code out here. Now I will run it and we will see how it looks like. So once you run it, it looks something like this. It has this user interface. So all you do is you need to drag and drop your file of your choice. So I will just drop one of the file which I want to. So it will be a GFP protein which I already downloaded from the protein data bank, and I will just drag and drop it here. So you see it's there, and you can make a lot of changes. So first I will make a cartoon out here. I'll press this, so we see the GFP out here, and then I will add some color to it. So there is already some buttons out here, so I make a color out here. So you can see how intuitive and how easy it is to use. When I saw the code out here in this particular GitHub page, and it was a hack of this 3D-Mol.JavaScript. So I will go to that page. So this is the page, okay, and we can actually make our own. And how we can make it, we won't make a component, but we can easily use it in our own Streamlit app. So from here, I will take few lines of JavaScript, and we go to embed, and what we can do is we can just copy this particular line. We just copied it, and now I will implement it in the code, and we'll just make our own 3D-Mol app. And now what we do is components.html. Here we will paste the JavaScript which we copied actually. So we keep this space here and we paste it here. So I will give the width as let's say 500 and height also as 500. So if you see now, we already have our structure, the molecular structure. So now we can choose any of the molecular structure and we just put it in out here. So for that, let's tweak a bit with our code. And now what we can do is, here if you read the script here is the place where we give the protein ID. This is one of the protein ID which we have used. So that was the structure which was shown in the app. So what we will do out here is we remove this part, and here what we do is we write format, and here we put the ID. That's all. So basically whatever the ID the user change, we can change our molecular structure based on that. It's a very easy implementation of the same molecular visualization which we see, but it's not a component level. For that we need to make a lot of changes. So, but it's a very quick implementation of the 3D visualization. So let's try to do it and let's see how it works. So for that, now all you need to do is you need to get some protein ID from the protein data bank. So let's go to the PDB where we find number of proteins and we will try to get any of this ID. So from here, let's search for green fluorescent protein, and if we search for it, we get this first one, 1EMG, and we copy it. What we do is we paste it here and we run it, and we see the protein which you wanted to. Now in case you want to change the entire view of it, so for that we go here, make the data style cartoon, and we make it a coloration of spectrum. So let's add that parameter also in our code. Here we add this feature also. Our protein has a color spectrum, so it has this different colors which we didn't see it before. Let me just add last change out here. It's very fun to play with this. So let me add one more feature to it, data spin, and we implement that in our code. Figure a place here, and we make the speed little less, and we give the spin axis as it's a Y. I think that's cool. And let's check in the app how it looks like. Now our protein is actually rotating around. Isn't that cool, right? So this was one of the things which I really liked and I wanted to share with you guys, and I hope you guys will like this part. So that's all I have for today's video, and I hope you guys will really like it. Try to implement this code, and I will also try to put a comment in the comment section. I will try to add the codes which I require for making this usage of these components, and also the app which I demonstrated in the beginning. I will try to leave the GitHub link for that. Bye for now, and I will see you guys soon in the next video.